Game 6 on this young 2013 season for both the Strikers of Fort Lauderdale and the Scorpions, who are back home here in San Antonio. Welcome back to Toyota Field. Lincoln Rose along with Kit McConico, as Erica Gonzaba will be joining us later on in the broadcast as well. Kit, we take a look at these two teams, each looking up at the rest of the league in the standings. That means some changes that we'll talk about a little bit later on here in the pregame. But for Fort Lauderdale, a bright spot. They pick up their first win, their first full 3 points last week, coming out to San Antonio here for this Saturday affair.
Yeah, a good win for the Strikers last weekend, going to Minnesota, getting the 2-1 victory. Had 4 players on the NASL Team of the Week last week. So this is a Strikers team that's in a good run of form right now.
Scorpions, meanwhile, a loss on the road at Carolina, 5-2 the final, making some changes, including in goal. We'll have those changes and more when we come back here on Me TV and continue our pregame coverage here in San Antonio. Both Scorpions and Strikers come into this Saturday night with an eye on a very important 3 points on the line in the NASL, trying to climb up the standings here in this spring season as we welcome you back to Toyota Field. Lincoln Rose along with Kit McConico. Kit, we look at both teams, each with recent changes in the frame. This week is the Scorpions making the adjustment, Jeremy Volo back in net.
That's exactly right, putting the ex-Red Bulls goalkeeper between the sticks for his first start of the season for Coach Tim Hankinson. Breaking it up, Pat Hannigan, the usual starter, but Volo coming in to start this evening.
You mentioned Volo, former Red Bull. He thought he had retired from the sport this past offseason to pursue a life in the ministry. Well, he got a call from the Scorpions, and kind of wanted to gauge his interest on continuing his career this past offseason. He realized he could have the best of both worlds. He continues to pursue that life in the ministry, but also will continue to pursue a career in soccer out there on the pitch. The change in goal, meanwhile, for the Strikers proved to be a successful one last week when, by necessity, they made a signing, and it was a big one. Last year's top goalkeeper in the league, Jeff Attinella, is back.
That's exactly right. Getting Jeff Attinella from Real Salt Lake in Major League Soccer. Attinella, one of the 4 Fort Lauderdale Strikers on last week's NASL Team of the Week. So certainly a good result. The Strikers would look to be continuing it this evening.
So the 2 keepers will get you their 10 teammates out there on the pitch. Starting lineups when we return as you're watching Scorpions live coverage here on MeTV. About to get underway here as we quickly run through our starting lineups for both squads, beginning first with the San Antonio Scorpions. And Kip McConicle, we mentioned the primary change at the bottom of your screen of this 4-4-2, Jeremy Volo. Esteban Bayona will get the start up top, and we anticipate Brian Jordan will join him as a striker.
That's exactly right. You saw the back, Luka Vuchko, Blake Wagner, Chris Williams, and Lyle Martin rounding out that back line for Coach Tim Hankinson.
Let's sneak a peek in here real quickly at the starting lineups for the Strikers of Fort Lauderdale, as the Scorpions will work it in from the near side as we are just underway here in San Antonio. Strikers again back in goal for a second straight game. Jeff Attinella, who had signed with Real Salt Lake, but after an ineffective start by Matt Glazer, ultimately giving up the job to Cody Lorendi, only to see Lorendi then rupture his spleen in the matchup against the Rowdies. And well, timing just worked out that they were able to secure last year's top goalkeeper. And Jeff Attinella's a gentleman who a season ago was able to secure more saves than any counterpart. Back post, Bayona, open frame, Scorpion strike early, and the changes pay off. And this time, it's Javier Saavedra. Right place, right time.
And that's exactly what you want to see if you're a Scorpions fan. Talked about last week, that biggest loss of the season, 5-2 at Carolina. Scorpions come out and score in the first minute of play here. Beautiful job from the elder statesman, Javier Saavedra, getting the first goal, putting the Scorpions up 1-0.
Saavedra played 300 minutes last year, had just 1 goal. It was against the Strikers. He strikes again here in 2013.
Well, this certainly is going to change the complexion of this match. A goal 1 minute in from the Scorpions, putting them up 1-0. And the Strikers, we talked about the Strikers team, had 4 players on last week's NASL Team of the Week. They're really going to have to work to get back into this match.
Javier turned 39 years old this past March, just prior to the start of his second year with the Scorpions. And again, Bayona got it started. Attinella with a rare ball getting past him in his NASL career.
Yeah, certainly no fault there of Attinella, the goalkeeper, doing his best. He made the first save. The ball bounced around, and Saavedra in the right place at the right time to pop it in the back of the net for the first goal.
Strikers looking for a quick answer of their own. They are coming off a 2-1 victory over Minnesota United. Strikers able to work it into the box. This is Volo tested for the first time. It'll be a corner kick coming up for Fort Lauderdale. Again, Jeremy Volo, the 6'3" man in frame, 25 years old, product out of Syracuse University, able to at least thwart the attack for the Strikers.
Exactly what you want to see from the ex-Orangemen's goalkeeper there, ex-Red Bulls player in New York. Did a wonderful job in the first corner kick of the game coming up for either squad.
And this is a Strikers team that 2 years ago was playing in the final match of the year against Minnesota, only to come up short as runners-up last year, finishing 9-9. wins, 9 draws, and 10 losses, finishing 5th and making it to postseason. Bayona again making that run. Ramirez looking for number 11. They still have not been able to clear it just yet. Have the Strikers on the foot of Bayona, and he would love to have that one all over to do again.
And that was all set up by the save made on the corner kick from Vuolo, doing a great job bringing that 6'3" frame off the line and making the catch right at the edge of the 6-yard box. And a great throw out to Ramirez starting that counterattack. Unfortunately, Bayona unable to keep that shot on frame.
Scorpions at one point were on track to score 90 goals in this match. That pace has slowed down a bit, especially after that last stop. As Javier Saavedra with the lone goal here early on in this one.
Yeah, when you look at both of these teams play a similar style, they're both very upbeat. They play an up-tempo kind of game. And again, the Scorpions on the board first, but not the first goal or the only goal we'll see this evening.
Ivan Guerrero able to send it inside to Dimitrov. Dimitrov, who came off the bench in that victory over Minnesota, gets the start here. The 28-year-old out of Bulgaria. And Dimitrov's a fun story. He is actually the first New York Cosmos player that the Scorpions have ever faced. He is on loan, though, for the spring season only from New York. A chance to get some NASL experience for Dimitrov before he returns to New York for the fall season.
That's exactly right. Dimitrov playing in a Strikers uniform in this spring season here in the NASL. As we know, the NASL has a spring and a fall season. The New York Cosmos will be that new team in the NASL for the fall season. And we'll certainly see Dimitrov again, but next time in another jersey.
New York joins the fray in the fall. Squads from Ottawa in Canada, along with Loudoun County in Virginia. And yes, the Indy 11 will be joining the NASL next season as well. That starting next spring in 2014 when that trio show up. Bayona now looking to turn and make a run. Again, so active early on the Colombian. Flipped up 21 yards out. Play will continue.
Yeah, good no call there from the referee early in the game. Coach Tim Hankinson unhappy with that no call, but I think that was the right one. And a good flow in this game after that first goal. Both teams really moving up and down the pitch.
At 6'6" tower is Luka Vuchko for the Scorpions. Scorpions wearing their home black. Strikers wearing the yellow tops and the black kits. Black shorts to complete the kits here on the road.
I had the opportunity to speak with Tim Hankinson, the head coach of the San Antonio Scorpions earlier this week, and I spoke to him again before this match and really said this is the biggest match for this team here in the spring season, a real gut check. As we said, the Scorpions had not won a match coming into tonight's contest, so great way for the Scorpions to get started early, get on the board 1-0, see if they can keep it up for the remainder of the 90 minutes.
Strikers were able to jump past the Scorpions in the standings when they went last week. Here is Ramirez, 18 yards out on the foot by Onano, out wide. And Strikers able to put off that attack from the Scorpions, at least for now.
Another great opportunity for the Scorpions. Ramirez really making great runs down that left side, that far left side, put the ball in for Bayona. Bayona just unable to get to it.
Just a missed touch there by Dimitrov. Back over to your interim captain, Pat Phelan, who is in place of Kevin Harms, the standard captain for the Scorpions, who is serving a one-game suspension for that straight red card he received last weekend in Cary, North Carolina. Scorpions able to make a stump. And we mentioned it's not as simple as just putting a new keeper back in the frame, but there's a whole new line of communication that has to be established between Volo and those 4 men in front of him.
Absolutely, and I think that's something that a lot of casual fans don't realize. Your goalkeeper is really your general on the field, directs offense and defense, but especially that back line. Keeps them in, keeps them where they need to be, and gives them that support behind them. And Volo doing a very good job right now, setting up the wall for this free kick coming for the Strikers.
Mark Anderson right now in the area along with Manny Gonzalez. Just depends what the mindset is here for the Strikers. That's Anderson on the right, Gonzalez to his left. Anderson with 1 goal already here this season.
And Gonzalez, one of those 4 strikers on last week's NASL Team of the Week.
Anderson looking to slip it past Volo, can't do it. Jeremy Volo has been tested early and often here, and so far has come up with a clean 7+ minutes.
Yeah, very impressed with Volo so far. Again, very early in this match, but doing a great job. You knew he'd be nervous coming into his first start of the season, and so far doing a really good job calming his team down there.
This will stay with the Strikers here on the near sun.
talked a lot about the important players for the Scorpions coming into this match. And so far, Ryan Jordan and Walter Ramirez, Jordan getting the first start since injuring that hamstring, doing a really good job on that right side of the midfield.
Ball finds the foot of captain Tony Stahl. So wind up with the Scorpions now, that's Eden Husick. Eden was able to find his first goal as a Scorpion last time that they were here in San Antonio in that draw 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so far just 8 minutes into this match, but very impressed by the midfield of the Scorpions, doing a great job dropping back defensively and then pushing forward on the counterattack.
Strikers good spacing here early on, trying to get that goal back. Manny Gonzalez will take it to the top of your screen. Within 25 yards, nice touch out wide, putting on the foot of Darnell King. King looking to deliver, but the cross denied by Chris Williams, who's made 3 consecutive starts now for Tim Hankinson.
Yeah, the pairing of Chris Williams and Luka Vucko in the middle. Williams listed at 6'4", Vucko at 6'6". You've got 2 big bodies. That really helps when the ball's played in the air.
Williams coming from the indoor game. With deep ties to Philadelphia, a couple of stints in the PDL in Ocean City. He was then a teammate with Pat Hannigan on a couple of occasions. It's Bayona again making the run. They'll go to Saavedra, who had that scoring touch earlier in this contest, in that opening minute.
So far, that ball over the top down either the left or the right side is working wonderfully for the Scorpions, having a player run onto either Ramirez or Houston. Very effective in this match.
Kyle Martin set up a friendly pass back to Volo, who sent it up to midfield. Strikers with some of their familiar foundation from a year ago, but just enough new blood to get them excited going into each and every contest. Now, of course, they did not begin the year with Jeff Attinella back there in frame. You know, they are more comfortable than ever. They have been playing the past 3 seasons. Man between the posts.
And anytime you've got a goalkeeper of that caliber, Jeff Attinella, his resume, everything he's done in the MLS, and you certainly have to think if you're a Strikers fan, that gives you a lot of security when you see Attinella between the sticks.
You see Volo, the youngster, Attinella across the way. Just 24 years old, he'll turn 25 in September. But to remind you, Jeff Attinella's story in the NASL, in 2011, he was Daryl Sattler's backup at Tampa Bay. Sattler went down with an injury, really would never play again between the posts over there in St. Pete. He signed with the Scorpions last year. Attinella would go on to do great things for Tampa Bay, helping guide them to this soccer ball trophy. Earning the opportunity in the MLS before being loaned to Fort Lauderdale this year.
That was about true for Attinella, but you certainly know that Strikers fans are happy he's made his way down to Florida. We saw the Crocketeers there in the Harrison section 113 earlier. I'd like to use this opportunity to congratulate the NASL fans of the week last week. The Fort Lauderdale Strikers and their supporters was Flight 19 of the Ultras. The second time one so far this season. So they're watching this game. The Strikers down a goal.
Boosted, has opportunities, he'll take it himself. From 18 yards out, just too tall, but the Scorpions and Strikers alike have each had opportunities aplenty here in this opening half.
Yeah, this has been an absolutely great first 11 minutes and 30 seconds of this game. If you're a fan of soccer, this is what you want to see. Up and down, offensively minded midfield on both teams, moving back to play defense. Really a fan's dream.
Jeff Attinella, who in 2011 had 128 saves, last year led the league with 118 saves. Of course, Daryl Sattler last year won the Golden Glove for fewest goals allowed per contest, but that's because Attinella at times in St. Pete was being peppered by the opponent, but more often not had the answer. Saavedra, who had a quality start in his last home match up here, just 20 minutes, but put that assist on the foot at the time of Hans Dennison for the first Scorpions goal ever at Toyota Field. Saavedra, the journeyman, the longtime Tigre, earning the start here once again for Coach Hankinson.
And Saavedra right there showing his experience in letting that ball come out of bounds. Knew it was played off the defender, let it go between his legs, and Lyle Martin is going to have a throw in for the Scorpions. Conversation with the referee for Lauderdale Striker, unhappy about that call.
Lyle Martin, the product out of Bakersfield, California, sends it in. Ramirez looking to position himself for a pass up top. Instead, Phelan just barely gets the right foot on it, but is able to carry it up ahead to Brian Jordan, former teammate of Beckham in Los Angeles. Here he is. Dance around, slips it through. Iona goes with the unselfish touch. That may be a time that Hankinson just wants to try to turn and fire.
And that was a good idea there for Iona, looking for the give and go to get it back. Not there, but again, good play offensively so far from the Scorpions.
Blake Wagner motoring it up ahead. Phelan out wide to Saavedra. This is Husing, pardon me. Saavedra working out to Brian Jordan. There's the captain for the night. Corner kick coming up here for San Antonio. Big opportunity to try to take a multiple goal advantage here in this opening half.
That's exactly right. When you have a big opportunity, you bring in the big man, and that would be 6'6" Luka Vučko. You'll see him on all the set pieces. Obviously, the central defender, but he's going to come up and bring that height into the box for this corner kick.
He is just outside your screenshot at the moment, but don't worry, he'll be closing in. Walter Ramirez will handle the service here. Walter last year with that left foot. 6 assists for the Scorpions, making the best 11. This little dribbler will not make it into the final 6-yard box. Lyle Martin trying to track this one down. Out to Williams. Right now, the goal, Javier Saavedra off a rebound from a shot from Iona, proving to hold up through the first 14 and a half minutes here in San Antonio. It's the third home game this year for the Scorpions. Like much of the NASL, have been alternating home and away here in the spring season. Fort Lauderdale Strikers, the only team participating in the spring season that the Scorpions had yet to face coming into this weekend.
It seems like a different Scorpions team. You know, they got a very stern talk last week after that loss by head coach Tim Hankinson. Unhappy, not just with the play, but with the effort the players put forth on the field. But this team tonight, they are leaving it all out there. There are no questions about the effort.
Well, it was Jamal Johnson who was able to bring that ball up across midfield for Fort Lauderdale. They surrendered it back to San Antonio, who has now returned the favor. Throw in here for Ivan Guerrero, the 35-year-old out of Honduras, where he had 84 caps for the national team.
Look at this team. We talked about the 4 players from the Strikers that made last week's ASL team. Goalkeeper Jeff Adnella, defender Shaver Thomas, midfielder Manny Gonzalez, the other midfielder Jamal Johnson. Jamal with the assist last week for the go-ahead goal to put the Strikers over Minnesota FC.
Phelan, the proud new papa, as of a couple weeks ago on May 1st. And as we mentioned, top of the broadcast, Harms serving the 1-game suspension. Otherwise would be captain for the Scorpions because of the straight red card. Strikers are without Stefan Guillaume, the 6'1" defender out of Haiti. Picking up a red last week in his 58 minutes as well.
Good idea there from Saavedra, trying to play that little off the side of the boot, trying to play that touch to Jordan. And again, offensively, very impressive from the Scorpions. They're using the width of the field. They're getting good passing triangles. If they can keep doing this, certainly think another goal is not out of the question before half.
Each of these teams, like all 6 teams who played on opening weekend, started with a promising start of a draw, picked up early points, and it was from top to bottom. This game, with the exception of Atlanta, who didn't play opening weekend. A 6-way tie for first place. Fort Lauderdale would go on to lose the next 3 matches. Scorpions would alternate losses and draws. The Scorpions in Fort Lauderdale each looking for a much-needed 3 points under this new spring and fall season format.
That's right. Strikers getting their first win of the season last week at Minnesota with a 2-1 victory for the Strikers. Again, Scorpions still looking for their first victory of the season, but going up 1-0 early in this match certainly has them thinking tonight could be the night.
Hard up to Jordan. Jordan to Saavedra. Certainly doesn't look 39 years old. He used to be Javier Saavedra towards the end of last season. The Scorpions had a lead after the first the first hour. He would come into the final 30 minutes as your closer of possession guy, Coach Hankinson could trust with a lead. But it looks as though Coach Hankinson's going to rely on the talented player from Mexico to get more of an early start start, or proved to be the case 2 weeks ago. Once again here today.
Saavedra, one of those guys, just because of his age, gets pigeonholed as a second half substitute. So I'm glad to see him.
See Coach Hankinson, a coach who's won the Coach of the Year honors just about every level he's ever coached. Division II NCAA, the USISL with the Charleston Battery, and then with the Big East at Syracuse. Probably had an argument along with Ricky Hill and even Eric Wynaldo last year for Coach of the Year. Ricky Hill, well-deserved, hard to argue distinction as your Coach of the Year. Johnson. Nobody home besides Volo. Well, we noted a couple times Volo most recently with the New York Red Bulls before he entered what he thought was going to be retirement from the game of soccer. Before that, the new keeper for San Antonio was playing in the first division over there in Finland.
Yeah, really interesting story. I got the chance to speak with Volo earlier this year, and he really didn't think he would ever play again. Got the calling of wanting to be a minister, wanted to go into the ministry, and soccer was only second and afterthought to him. And so for him to have the opportunity to play and also continuing with his life in the ministry, win-win situation for Volo.
Guerrero trying to center pass inside. Phelan quickly hampers that opportunity. Losing now, trying to track down the ball. Scorpions playing on their heels at the moment. Another nice chance here for Mark Anderson. Able to slip it through, begging for a corner kick, and he will get it.
Rocketeers unhappy with that. Taking right in front of them.
Descent from the gentleman in the Garrison. Anderson, well beyond the far post, a little tugging and pulling from both sides. This one's going to eclipse that touchline across the way and stay with Fort Lauderdale.
So far in this game, San Antonio doing a very good job playing organized defensively. Haven't been caught unorganized and given up some goals so far this season. Being caught, not having numbers at the back. But as I said, so far doing a really good job.
Lincoln Rose, along with Kip McConaughey, will have a chance to introduce the newest member of our broadcast crew, Erica Gonzalez, a little bit later on here in the broadcast.
You and I talked before this game. Strikers with the first win of the season last week at Minnesota, trying to get a win streak going here. The Scorpions still looking for their first win. So we knew both teams would be coming into this game looking for all 3 points.
Johnson right now with Guerrero to his left, lobs one in, far post, but it's Volo again. Promising start for Jeremy Volo. Again, the 6'3", 200-pounder back there between the posts. He's been tested early and often.
Yes, and that's what you want to see if you're a Scorpions fan. You wanted to see the ball get back to Volo, see how he would handle it early on in this game. As I said, he's got the touches, he's got the nerves kind of out of his system, and he's playing really well. Ball there from Ramirez.
Iona was making the extra run. Now he's going to have to battle with the slightly taller Scott Gordon, the 6'4" product out of Boca Raton, Florida, former competitor for Chivas USA. They will win that ball for Fort Lauderdale. Left-footed delivery will sail wide across the face and go out of play.
Sorry about that, Mike. Talking over you there. Again, I'm talking coach. The guys have to win their one-on-one battles. Then you can worry about the team game. But so far, they're doing a really good job of that in all aspects of play.
Volo will take a sip. Be back in touch over to San Antonio. So it's now been about 21 minutes since Javier Saavedra was able to clean up around the frame. At no fault of Jeff Attinella, just was outnumbered. Esteban Bayona had the first look, but it was the rebound that found its way on the foot of an enthusiastic Saavedra. This time Saavedra with the right foot tonight, and a corner kick coming up here.
Just watch the first 22 minutes of this match. There is no way that you would ever guess Javier Saavedra is 39 years of age.
I don't think you would guess that the Scorpions are looking up at 6 other teams in the league.
Great point.
A promising beginning to this third home contest on the year. Saavedra denied the delivery, but another corner. The ball caroms off of Mark Anderson on the block.
Yeah, the Scorpions tonight not trying to do too much. They're playing to their strengths. They know who's good with the ball. They know who's good with the ball. And so far, playing to their strengths, they're up 1-0.
Again, it is Ramirez, a member of the best 11 in the league last year in the midfield. Header towards the near post, denied. Ball is not cleared out just yet. Finally, the Strikers will buy themselves some breathing room.
Yeah, Brian Jordan with the header, doing what you're supposed to do, putting that ball low and away, unfortunately bouncing off the striker defender.
A little movement on that pass from Ramirez. Fuco almost moved the defender with a bullet to the midsection.
That's the last thing you want if you're a striker defender is to take a shot from 6'6" Croatian Luka Vučko right in the chest.
When he apologizes, which of the 5 languages that he's fluent in do you think he uses?
Oh, Turkish, why not? Possibly Polish, Croatian, English, Spanish. I mean, it's a walking dictionary.
Trick question, I don't think he apologizes. They will send it out up top. Strikers have had opportunities. No reason to believe that they won't find a fruitful shot at some point in this matchup.
And again, perfect example here on this defensive play for the Scorpions. Doing a good job. They have their 4 across the back line. They're playing very well. They're marking men. And they gave away that shot outside the box. The Scorpions will give that shot to the Strikers all night.
Some of the young fans in attendance. What a great job the Scorpions franchise as a whole in this Soccer for a Cause atmosphere has done for a game that you knew was already such a big aspect of San Antonio and the youth, providing the kids something to do. But with Gordon Hartman's vision here in the Longhorn Quarry, Star Soccer Complex, and now with the pro franchise that gives back 100% of its net profits to Morgan's Wonderland, it just continues to grow with the opportunities down the line.
Yeah, there's nothing like it in professional sports. As you said, it gives away 100% of its profit. You can't talk about the Scorpions without talking about Soccer for a Cause, Morgan's Wonderland, and really what a huge part of the San Antonio, the Central Texas community it is. I'd like to give a warm welcome to the Boy Scouts in attendance this evening, camping out to our left over at Star Soccer Complex. Tents abounding. Boy Scouts here this evening to watch the Scorpions hopefully get their first win of the season.
And they are camping out on one of the 13 FIFA quality laser cut, laser finished grass fields. Jordan, he's played on some quality pitches in the MLS with the Galaxy. Right now, doubled down. Brian Jordan still battling, but ultimately succumbs to the numbers. Able to turn here and make a charge is Anderson. Anderson will send it up top. Contact, and they are going to whistle the little touch foul.
Good job for Brian Jordan offensively. They're just trying to take on two.
Apparently it's worth talking about.
Happy with that. A little chat with our central referee for this evening.
Fotis Pizzancos chatting things over with Brian Wagner.
Fotis Pizzancos, our center ref, being assisted by Mike Harrington.
Kick from 30 yards down behind the head of Williams. Scorpions haven't cleared just yet. Iona trying to muscle his way and work through a gauntlet of strikers. A nice job fending off the Scorpions by Walter. Walter, who returned from his ACL injury that ended his season back in this last August, has 1 goal already this year. His 260 plus minutes for the Strikers this season.
Back really quickly. Showed no signs of rust, having a great season so far here in 2013.
Despite the injured ACL in the month of August, mind you, in a season that ends in October, named the best 11 assists. He number 10 last year, second year, now in his 3rd year with the Strikers. It's been a nice fit for him.
Yeah, it really has. Good defense there again from the Scorpions, playing that ball out of bounds. And Scorpions defense looking better than I've seen it at any point so far this season.
That was not the Scorpions defense that we were just looking at. Ramirez San Antonio has proven they are not content just sitting on a single goal here in this opening half.
As I said, Coach Tim Hankinson said this was a gut check game. He was going to start the guys who wanted to play, the guys who showed heart, and who really showed heart in this week of practice. And these guys have really shown up this evening, getting that first goal in the first minute, but no drop-off yet for the Scorpions.
Again, Bayona trying to position himself, can't trap it with the chest successfully. Back over to the strikers on the foot of Guerrero, the defender. Guerrero signed in January. He's been a pro since 1996, the 35-year-old. But not the oldest gentleman out there on the pitch, as the Honduran, 4 years younger, Javier Saavedra. And, well, you can't make old jokes about the guy who scored the only goal so far here in this opening half.
No, not at all. We've got an injury on the field. It's the captain, Pat Phelan, down for the Scorpions. Looks to be writhing in pain. So this would be a big loss for the Scorpions, a team that has battled with injuries all season long, especially defensively. I don't think the Scorpions have started the same 4 back defenders so far this season.
Yeah, injuries have been a huge problem. In fact, Harms even had to dabble some back up there on that back line. Phelan able to get up. Again, Lincoln Rose along with Kit McConico, third member of our broadcast crew, Erica Gonzaba. And Erica, soon enough, will be informing you about some fun opportunities for Scorpions fans to win some pretty cool items.
Well, that's one of the great things about coming out here at Toyota Field. Not only do you get to see a wonderful facility, a great soccer team, but there's always a ton for the kids to do. There's always a ton for the families to do. At the Miller Lite Beer Garden over to our right, always fantastic giveaways. Sometimes I wish I was a fan.
Just create a different Twitter account and try to see what kind of shenanigans.
My 6'6" frame, I don't very well.
Which go west for the broadcast booth.
He's 3 up.
Saavedra looking for Martin. Just a bit too tall, and this ball stays with San Antonio.
I really like the camaraderie. You see the guys from the Scorpions slapping hands when the ball goes out. You see guys extorting each other to play. You see guys saying, move there, this is mine. Once you get that communication, everything else is much simpler.
This has been a fun dynamic to watch here for San Antonio. It's a new dynamic by necessity, really more than circumstances, because of some of the injuries, especially some hamstring problems that a couple of players have had. But so far, best case scenario, Scorpions in the lead half an hour into this one.
That's exactly right. Scorpions have really taken control, as they did, scoring in the first minute, taking it since the opening kickoff. But again, I haven't seen any letdown so far from the Scorpions. Ryan Jordan making the bad pass, but hustling back on defense, and that's what you want to see.
Wagner is not going to win the foot race to that ball. Instead, we'll try to establish some position along the perimeter. Wagner hopefully will win this ball. There's a dangerous ball, just a bit too tall. San Antonio can't clear. They get away with one there.
Very, very lucky the Scorpions where Wagner trying to tiptoe in, being a little too fancy on the end line there. Possibly should have just knocked it out, striker regaining possession, putting that cross into the box.
First time we see an animated Jeremy Volo. You know, if you're a goalkeeper, whether it is your first day on the job or your 10th year on the job with these teammates, you've got to take over and be the vocal leader back there. Can't be tentative.
No, that's exactly right. You are the coach on the field. You are the defensive general. You have to tell those guys that they can't see it. Volo, his first start, doing a really good job, showing a lot of confidence in between the sticks.
In the college game, a lot of times I'll see a freshman keeper back in frame, and you always appreciate that much more when you see that freshman keeper verbal early on in the season, not intimidated by the fact that there are seniors, juniors, and sophomores who have already been out there on the collegiate pitch.
Well, that's very similar to the situation Volo's in tonight. Obviously, his first start of the season, the younger goalkeeper, but Volo's taking control, and he's shown this squad why he should be in goal, doing a very good job so far here, just 32 minutes into the first half.
Again, Volo, the 25-year-old, played at Syracuse and Hartwick.
Number 26.
He's pretty pleased with his choice to continue his soccer career. Now working with an advantage.
Number 26. Move your fist up and down to the beat.
Carrier dome, Volo's pretty happy to be outside.
And again, always dangerous with the ball, Mark Anderson. He had 11 goals last season. He was an opportunity near post. The Scorpions were fortunate to surrender this set piece.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of miscommunication separation there between Volo and the defender Chris Williams. Williams doing a good job keeping that body in front of the attacker, forcing that ball out of bounds for a goal, for a corner kick, excuse me.
Quick kick. They'll try to play the angle on the foot of Restrepo. Restrepo nothing doing thanks to the quick response by Walter Ramirez. Walter Ramirez, a former competitor, professional in Miami. What is now the reincarnation as Fort Lauderdale Strikers, but back in the day, Ramirez played with Miami FC in that USL First Division. 76 games over there in Florida.
Yeah, the Honduran Ramirez a journeyman, but he has stepped up big for this team this year. As we said, this team is having a lot of injuries, and Ramirez is doing a good job just plays that left side wing midfield, but he'll play anywhere you need him.
Jordan with the touch to his captain. Phelan looking for Saavedra, and boy, Saavedra has been a destination for these passes instead of being the one who ultimately is looking to set up others.
Well, the biggest difference so far I've seen in this game compared to other Scorpions games is they're playing the ball over the top down the wings.
Lyle Martin didn't see it that way, nor did the fans here cheering on the Scorpions. But kick here for Fort Lauderdale. About 45 yards out.
Possessions together to try and get some shots on goal.
Sessions overhead, able to slip it through. Williams now defending the ball. They give up ground out to Guerrero. Restrepo, 24-year-old out of San Diego, California, born to a pair of Colombian parents. Nobody's crosses inside the 6-yard box.
Strikers, just too much air under that ball into the box, and Volo taking that 6'3" frame out of the 6-yard box, just taking that ball for his own.
Iona all by his lonesome in terms of wearing that Scorpions black and red kit. He's looking for a little give and go with Ramirez. Ramirez comes up and didn't. Here's the opening. Scorpions possess, they try to get back on side. That back line continues to push up for the Strikers.
Yeah, Strikers starting to have more opportunities, but the midfield not coming up to help the forwards. Forwards being left alone on that island there. The big difference between the two teams is the midfield of the Scorpions moving forward on offense, but tracking back defensively.
Well, by this point, over in Cary, North Carolina this past weekend, Scorpions saw the writing on the wall that they likely were not going to be picking up 3 points on the road. Pick up their first victory on the season. Do have a couple of draws now, 0-2-3 on the season. The Scorpions, remember last year, 13 wins, the most wins of any NASL club during the regular season. Won that regular season title. 8 draws, just 7 losses. Only 3 of them coming at home all year long over there at Hero Stadium, which is located across the street behind us here at Toyota Field, not too far away.
Now a lot of fans using the parking facilities over at Heroes to park there, walk over here to Toyota Field.
Oh, a well-placed ball, and Dimitrov just could not hit the forehead on it.
The Strikers really searching. Those broken balls up in front, trying to get their forwards on it. Again, Flores, the team providing defense to the Scorpions and not having any help behind from the Strikers midfield.
Saavedra with the ball, so he's up ahead of the was the best opportunity in the area. Zusic, who gave the Scorpions their first ever lead this season 2 weeks ago. He gave the Scorpions a 2-1 advantage. Kevin Harms, who received that straight red on what they judged to be a dangerous slide last week.
Not so cordial conversation going on between Ivan Guerrero and Pat Phelan there at midfield.
Phelan's third yellow now here in the spring season, as of course we also monitor the accumulation of yellows. That could also lead to a player missing time.
Free kick coming for the Strikers after that first yellow of the game going to Phelan.
And this is going to be Manny Gonzalez with an assist on the year. Played just 90 minutes coming into this match. Gets the start, 22-year-old out of Florida. Former Austin Aztecs player back in the day. She played his college ball at a school that made some name for itself in the NCAA tournament over in Dunk City at Florida Gulf Coast. Scorpions right now with the ball on the back line. Vuchko will put an end to that, sending it up to midfield. Bayona crumbles, and Strikers will look to send it back up ahead.
Beautiful job there from Vuchko, just clearing that ball out of the danger area, not letting it hang back there. More often the balls on your defensive third of the field. More often the balls back there.
Guerrero directing traffic, looking for help. Restrepo slips it through the legs of Bayona, now will fire it up ahead. Restrepo making a run right down the middle of the field. They'll send it out wide instead. Scorpions just hanging on to a single goal advantage. Vuchko will keep that lead intact for now, but a corner kick coming up across the way as Coach Tim Hankinson looks on with perhaps a bit of concern.
Big corner kick coming right here at the 40th minute for the Strikers.
Big chance here. He'll find the head of a striker, but then the right move of Vuchko. Restrepo picked up by Saavedra. Nice lob. A high kick back there in the box. Scorpions will be able to just play on.
Yeah, 5 minutes left in the remainder of this first half. Plus a minute or two of stoppage time. Again, you know the Strikers would really like to even this up before they go into the locker room at half.
Pass off the foot of Gonzalez. Again looking to run right down the middle. Gonzalez from 23 yards out cannot bend it inside that far post.
Cheeky there, put a bend on that ball with Lolo on that far post the entire time, never worried about it.
Javier Saavedra's goal in that first minute. Got the Scorpions fans on their feet early on. You see the drum line of the front row of the Garrison. The Crocketeers, one of the 4 major supporters groups for the San Antonio Scorpions. It is the Bexar County Casuals who actually won the first ever NASL Fans of the Week distinction for their nice showing up there in Minnesota, the season opener. Brian Jordan able to spin, has Saavedra up ahead as an option. Nice pass on the back, and Luka Vuchko is not shy about going for a walk with that ball about 30 to 40 yards every now and then throughout a contest.
No, not at all. And if you're a defender, the last thing in the world you want to see is 6'6" Luka Vuchko barreling down the pitch with the ball in his feet coming right at you.
That's when you stop and you contact your insurance agent.
That's when you check on how much insurance you have. Add a little more to that policy.
Ball from Vuchko to Volo. Colors this year for the Scorpions were not a part of that championship in the regular season a year ago. Vuchko part of that dip into Eastern Europe as Coach Hankinson tried to insert some new blood into the North American Soccer League this year.
That's exactly right. Croatian, Serbian, and Bosnian as well.
That is Husik. Named the Team of the Week a couple weeks ago, thanks to his second goal for the Scorpions. It was his first goal on the year, second overall for the team. But for Fort Lauderdale, they certainly certainly turned some heads with that victory last week. 4 players on the team of the week.
Yeah, a huge victory for the Strikers up in Minnesota, their first win of the year away from Lockhart Stadium there in Fort Lauderdale. And congratulations to them. You know their fans very happy to see those 3 points.
Jordan planted a few times, but ultimately never delivered. Instead, gave it up to Husick. Husick won't cause too much concern for Atnella that time around. Again, this is a Strikers team that for really the past 2+ seasons, it was Glazer back in goal, the true anchor for this team. I believe at one point he had started 50 consecutive matches in frame, but Matt Glazer, the product out of Fredericksburg, eventually gave way to Cody Lorendi, a promising youngster who had 2 shutouts in the preseason for the Strikers. Lorendi, again, a collision with the rival Tampa Bay, ultimately injuring his spleen, a ruptured spleen, prompting the signing of Atnella. Chance to tie here for the Strikers. Scorpions on top of this ball.
Ramirez with the ball in space. That big opportunity coming for the Scorpions.
This is Brian Jordan. 18-yard delivery, far post, Iona. That ball bends just too wide. Nothing Esteban could have done about it. Jeff Atnella just able to breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, Brian Jordan playing a good ball. Not quite sure if, I think it was a cross, trying to get that on the head of Iona, running to the far post, just a bit too much on it. Look for a second there that Jordan might have been trying to go on goal himself, but a good ball, just a bit too far.
1 minute remaining in the initial 45 scheduled. It looks as though we'll have an additional minute of stoppage time. Of course, usually we don't think much of just a minute, but we've learned today so much can be accomplished in 60 seconds. Meanwhile, the left-footed strike there by Jamal Johnson. Johnson really has been a nice constant motor, source of energy in the middle of the pitch here for the Strikers, setting everything up.
Yeah, Johnson has done a wonderful job this year for Fort Lauderdale, really being that cog on the midfield, more of an offensive midfielder who can play defense, but again, had that assist last week for that goal, the winning goal over Minnesota FC for the Strikers' first win of this spring season.
The 11 out there for both teams look well conditioned in this one, as it has been up and down the pitch throughout this broadcast. Saavedra making the run, but denied access to the ball.
Yeah, certainly if you're a casual fan, this has been a fantastic first half, up and down the field offensively from both teams having chances.
Phelan can't afford another yellow. It does not look as though he'll be picking it up.
Phelan needs to start walking away, keep his mouth closed if he does not want to pick up that second yellow before half.
Always dangerous on a 50-50 ball in the air with the competitors out there. Very rare you're going to see either one want to give up ground to the other. We'll set up the kick here. Manny Gonzalez.
These two teams currently at the bottom of the NASL standings here in the spring season, so both really need the 3 points in a victory tonight. The draw is really not going to help either side.
Strikers head coach Daryl Shore wanting an explanation why there wasn't a second card there on Phelan. Right now Phelan getting an extended talking to, but that center official again, Motis Bazanco's likely mindful he's already given Phelan 1 entry into the book.
Yeah, he has Walter Estrepo lobbying our central referee. Another card for Phelan.
About a minute to play till halftime. A corner kick coming up from Fort Lauderdale.
Phelan doing the smart thing defensively there, heading the ball out, give them a corner kick, but do not let the ball bounce around in the box.
Looking for an equalizer here. Back post, and nothing will come of it. 45 minutes plus an additional minute of stoppage time in the books. San Antonio with a 1-goal advantage for the first time, lead at halftime. A promising start. It began with Bayona, a shot that ultimately led to a rebound for Saavedra. Javier Saavedra able to clean things up. In a moment, we'll be joined by Scorpions head coach Tim Hankinson. As Javier Saavedra got the start 2 weeks ago, just played 20 minutes after picking up an assist to Dennison. After coming up a bit lame afterwards, but as we're joined now by head coach Tim Hankinson, I hope he was paying attention in the first 60 seconds because a youngster by the name of Javier Saavedra showed off the youth movement these days here at Toyota Field. Coach, what was your thought there as the opening minutes unfolded?
You know, coming from a deep midfield position and finding himself in the six was just a tremendous effort, you know, for a guy who's 40 years old, but he can read those moments with his experience. A great start for the team.
And it was clear that the mentality was not just to sit on that one goal. This has been an up-and-down affair, up and down the pitch by two well-conditioned teams.
Both teams are creating chances, quite different styles. We seem to take a few possession passes and then break with more power and speed. They like to, you know, tic-tac the ball around and build up around the box. Most of their goals have come from shooting from the outside of the box, so we got to be very conscious about stepping up to the shooter.
All right, Coach Tim Hankinson, best of luck in the second half, and thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Hankinson will go to the locker room for the first time this season with a new speech, how to protect a lead and try to build it in the second 45 minutes of play. Fans, when we come back at halftime, we'll introduce you to Erica Gonzaba, the newest member of our broadcast crew. She has some exciting opportunities coming your way when we return here on MeTV.
Yes, how long are we talking for? Okay. Copy.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Whoever is out doesn't sit on a ball.
Yes, sir. I'm hoping I'll have Vanessa's skin color when I leave here tonight.
Minutes in the books here at Toyota Field. It is the sixth match on the season. Scorpions looking for their first full 3 points. They are halfway there, Kit McConico, as we welcome you back here to halftime on our live coverage here at MeTV. Javier Saavedra, 73 seconds into the match, gets the rebound around the frame, able to clean it up for his second goal ever as a Scorpion. Both have come against these strikers.
That's exactly right. The 39-year-old with the first goal here, showing those young legs early on to put the Scorpions 1-0 up at half.
Kid, this is a match where we've seen 12 shots fired by Fort Lauderdale, just a couple on goal. But the gentleman back there making the saves, Volo, has been a nice job so far in his debut as a Scorpion.
That's exactly right. Jeremy Volo in his first start in goal tonight for Tim Hankinson, first start of the season, and doing a wonderful job. He's been tested, and he's shown up.
People are excited about the start from Jeremy Volo in his debut. We're excited about the debut of Erica Gonzaba.
Yeah.
She's joining us here on the broadcast. And, Erica, I know you have some exciting things for the fans.
Woohoo. Yes, I do. Hi, guys. It's so great to be here. I'm so excited to be at the beautiful Toyota Field. It is a gorgeous night. It's breezy. The hair's blowing. The soccer balls are going. It's awesome. I do want to mention a very exciting thing. Go to your computers. Get out your phones. sascorpions.com/soccerball. We've got an awesome giveaway for tonight. An autographed soccer ball with all of your favorite Scorpions players all over it. It's awesome. So sascorpions.com/soccerball. And I want to, you guys tweet me. It's at Erica Gonzaba. I know it's on the screen there, at Erica Gonzaba. Make sure you tweet me. I want to know what y'all are thinking. I want to know where you're at. And enter to win, sascorpions.com/soccerballs.
All right, thank you very much, Erica. Fans, we take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look back at the biggest shot in that first half as Javier Saavedra, here halfway through, has given the Scorpions a 1-goal advantage in San Antonio.
Here, can you hear me? Okay. Yes, I have 3 of them.
Michael, congratulations. You won musical.
Are we gonna be on?
About how long do I have with the Boy Scouts? Okay, cool. Okay.
Halftime here at Toyota Field. It's the Scorpions thanks to a goal from Javier Saavedra with the 1-goal advantage midway through. And fans, we want to remind you all sorts of talented professionals with the Scorpions.
Yes.
And a chance for your future Scorpion to take in one of the 2013 soccer summer camps. You get the professional training from the Scorpions players. Look at the dates there. There's bound to be something that fits your summer schedule as well as your needs, whether it be the half day, the full day, and the talent level, of course, factored in as well. And, Kit, we want to remind the viewers to either give them a call, 210-254-8869, or you can simply go online and register at that address, sascorpions.com/camps. Well, speaking of camps, Erica is now joined by some other individuals who are going to be doing some camping of their own tonight.
Yes, we have 500 Boy Scouts here tonight. It is amazing. I saw a bunch of tents on the other side at Morgan's Wonderland on the Star Complex. It's amazing. I have about 3 of them with me. Tell me your name real quick.
My name is Christian Wallace.
Christian Wallace.
I'm Justin. Max.
Well, Christian, Justin, and Max are going to be camping out tonight. Christian, tell me what you're going to be doing tonight.
I am going to spend the night around the practice field, whatever.
Under the stars.
Under the stars.
Did y'all bring special gear to camp out, and is this your first time?
Yes.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you guys. Great weather, too, right? Y'all having a good time?
Oh, yeah, we're having a great time.
Awesome, awesome. These guys are having such a great time here tonight. Everyone here in the stadium is having a great time. I want to also remind everyone, June 1st is McDonald's soccer ball night. They are giving out a yellow soccer ball to the first 2,500 kids that are 16 and under. June 1st. Make sure you mark it on your calendars. Back to you guys.
All right, Erica, thank you very much. Well, they're not going to be giving away the ball that Javier scored in that first 73 seconds, but let's take a look back at what is the difference here early on in this ball game. It was less than a minute into it that they made their initial charge. It was Bayona who was able to create the opportunity. Ultimately could not be secured by Atnell cleanly. He spilled it, and, well, able to clean it all up, number 23, Saavedra.
That's exactly right. The elder statesman showing his skills there, being at the right place at the right time, popping that first goal in just 59 seconds in to put the Scorpions up 1-0 at half.
Well, it set the tone early on. Scorpions claimed an advantage. Strikers came right back a few times. 12 shots in that opening half for the Strikers, 7 for the Scorpions, each team with just 2 on frame. Atnella and Volo have both lived up to their billing. Fans, when we come back, we'll slap another 45 minutes up there on the clock as second half action gets underway here in San Antonio. You're watching the Scorpions here on MeTV, memorable entertainment television as we wrap up with halftime. Strikers are already back out of the locker room. And this brand new facility at Toyota Field, if you haven't had a chance to make your way out here in the old Longhorn Quarry, it's right across the street from Morgan's Wonderland. And for those sitting in the Garrison, it's a constant reminder as they can look up and see the rooftops over at Morgan's Wonderland of what this is all about, soccer for a cause. Win or lose, the winner's always, again, the special needs community and all the opportunities afforded them, thanks to the vision of Gordon Hartman and the inspiration of his daughter, Morgan. Lincoln Rose, along with Kit McConico, welcoming you back again. We hope that you are engaging on Twitter with Erica Gonzaba with those opportunities, including that autographed Scorpions soccer ball. So keep track of that. We'll keep track of the action here in the subsequent 45 minutes. Strikers, again, had 12 shots, certainly had opportunities, but could not come away with the goal. The story kit coming into this match, how the Scorpions would try to bounce back from a 5-2 loss on the road in North Carolina, still without a win. Just 2 draws, the best results so far this season. Well, Coach Hankinson, a combination of injuries and performance, forced his hand a couple of areas on the field. And so far, with the results in, a nice job with the Scorpions out on top by 1.
That's right. So far at midterms here, I'll give them an A for the first half of the semester. Another half yet to play. Certainly hope they can have the same quality on the pitch that they did in the first 45. But a very impressive first half from both teams, really moving up and down the field. The Scorpions doing a very good job playing organized on defense, a problem they've had all year.
Again, it's a match that the Strikers are without Guillaume, while Harms is not available for Scorpions, each receiving red cards this past week. And under NASL policy, you must sit out that next contest with a suspension. They review the more physical red cards and at times can assess greater than a single game matchup. We don't anticipate that being the case for Island play. And right now, Walter Ramirez and the Scorpions shifting into the field here in the second half. We'll be attacking Jeff Atmella to our left. Strikers will work along their back row.
Team switching sides here in the second half. You said the Strikers in the yellow tops. Scorpions in their home black and red jerseys.
Williams entered his first ever match as a Scorpion up there in Edmonton as a result of an injury early in that contest. Played about 70 minutes in his debut off the bench and has been a starter ever since on that back line. Bayona, 16-yard dribble, and it'll just finally make its way harmlessly into the arms of Atmella. Now Williams continued his starting string despite some injuries to other teammates where Pat Phelan may have filled in, because Phelan actually had to miss a few practices leading up to the pregnancy, or I should say of the birth of his daughter, but ultimately unable to make the trip back then to Canada. Otherwise it probably would have been Pat stepping in instead of Williams, and you never would have known what the large body number 28 Chris Williams could have done out there.
Chris Williams has certainly been a very welcome surprise to the Scorpions team. When you look at him listed as 6'3" or 6'4", guy looks like
second yellow now, and just about 500 minutes played this season.
Yeah, Thomas, one of those 4 strikers who was on last week's NASL Team of the Week. Shaver Thomas having a really good job anchoring that makeshift back line in the Strikers' 2-1 victory over Minnesota FC.
Thomas, a 10-year veteran in Major League Soccer, and boy, he has been in about every city: Dallas, Kansas City, Los Angeles, both with Galaxy and Chivas USA, Philadelphia, most recently the Montreal Impact. 49 caps with his home country, Jamaica.
I certainly hope Thomas has a good realtor as often as he moves.
Wouldn't mind being his favorite realtor. Scorpions taking a little while now after things have settled to assess this kick. Saavedra hovering on top of it. Go with the short kick, and it's Bayona with the left-booted delivery. Atmella, despite perhaps a few bodies in his way, able to fall on it. Pardon me, it was Wagner. Bayona was looking to clean things up around the frame.
Yeah, Wagner doing a good job there, keeping it low and in the ground, pushing it to that near post, but Adela was there again, showing his prowess as a goalkeeper. No trouble there for the Strikers.
Walter Ramirez, a member of the original Miami FC club in 2006, when he made his pro debut in Miami.
Good job there defensively for the Scorpions, putting the ball back to Wolo. Wolo doing the smart thing, he's knocking it back up the pitch.
Lucid hoping for his second goal of the season by the end of this match.
Ramirez, certainly one of the players for the Scorpions there in the first half.
Scorpions with the lead, doing this with Hans Dennison on the bench. Dennison leading bench score with his second goal of the year, which came in North Carolina this last week on PK. Also saw Lucevic chime in with his first goal as a Scorpion.
These guys are up 1-0, but again, you need up in one apiece.
Pardon me, not Milicevic, but instead Nikola Vasilic. Out of Serbia, able to connect with his first goal. The Scorpions would fall 3 goals short, leading the comeback late against the perfect, well, I should say undefeated squad out there in North Carolina, the Railhawks, who are all alone atop the table.
Some major putting his hand up there, apologizing, looking to play that ball on the ball. Good idea there. You certainly have to like the offense, the way these guys are performing.
So flip one through to Jamal Johnson, who had 3 shots in that opening half. He and Mark Anderson were able to fire 3 shots off in that 45 minutes. It seems like every kick, even if he only lifts up to his knee, appears to be a high kick.
Well, when you're 6'6", and a lot of the guys you're playing against are 5'6", it often appears that way.
Let's go right now, marking Dimitrov. Oh, just hesitating with that extra step, and it may have cost the Strikers 20 yards wide of the near post. That little stutter step, couldn't collect the ball cleanly. And again, Bolo and the Scorpions able to keep that 0 intact on the board.
Yeah, a good bit of defense there. Very impressive work from Blake Wagner. As you said, maybe a touch too many for the Strikers striker. And again, very impressive defense there from Wagner, knocking that ball up and giving possession over to the Scorpions.
Ramirez able to corral this one just in time. Let's stay with the Scorpions after the foul call. That time they simply had Manny Gonzalez running. Ramirez out of play.
Scorpions doing a good job here in the first 5 minutes of the second half. They've come out and played the way they ended the first half. The work rate's very high. The guys have a lot of energy. Certainly hope they can keep it up for the remainder of the second half.
Wagner able to lob that ball within 18, but Scorpions can't get it any closer. That ball may have very well scraped on the speakers of the overhang here. It's a beautiful new facility.
Phenomenal facility here in Salt Lake City. I encourage all of you to not see it. It is a wonderful way to spend the Saturday. US Open.
Scorpions and Silverbacks, usually at soccer-specific stadiums in the NASL. That number will grow in the coming years. That's where they want that ball, just could not ultimately execute.
Well, the play was right. They put it on the near post, had Vucino running to it. Vucino just couldn't get his head up on it as much as he would like.
Lyle Martin is going to fight for every battle.
Fans come to their feet here as the central referee pops in the head there with the ball. It was okay, no worse for wear. As a central referee, you certainly have to imagine that's happened to him a time or two.
I was just hearing sighs of concern.
I apologize. That is exactly what the fans were doing.
Saavedra has some options around that 18-yard line. Vucko, header, goal for the Scorpions. It is 2-0.
6'6" central defender Vucko proves his work on the offensive side of the field. Beautiful free kick played on to Vucko. Vucko gets the header down in the box and played in to put the Scorpions up 2-0.
Head coach for the Strikers, Daryl Short, pleading for an offside call around the frame, but Vucko able to put enough behind that ball. And it's Javier Saavedra factoring into it, this time with the assist.
That's exactly right. Beautiful play right there. We talked a lot this year about the height of Vucko in offensively, and it pays off. Perfect example right there.
This past week, the stadium raised a few greater-than-life-size portraits of these players along the outside of the facility, and a lot of folks made the obvious joke, the one of Vucko, which may very well have been 15 to 20 feet tall, still was not as big as the individual wearing number 27 on his back.
Well, a huge play right there for the Scorpions to put them up 2-0, and that insurance goal coming right there in the 43rd minute.
Well, I would say in about 20 minutes, that's where we will see Coach Hankinson bring in Javier Saavedra, but Saavedra gets the start here today.
That's exactly right. Saavedra doing a wonderful job with the start, really taking full advantage of it.
Anderson, the extra pass. They have numbers inside, but the foot touches that initial cross, that initial pass. Is that a Phelan who gets a pat on the back of the head from his new keeper, Jeremy Volo?
Yeah, Phelan doing a great job there, just knocking that ball out of bounds. Corner kick coming for the Strikers.
Strikers have had their fair share of set pieces. Has not resulted in a goal just yet. Struggles. Goal for the Strikers. They are on the board. They cut the deficit in half. This time, Fort Lauderdale, Scott Gordon.
That is what happens when the ball bounces around the box. The ball has too many opportunities for too many people, not cleared, and eventually ends up in the back of the Scorpions.
Gordon had 1 goal in all of last season and over 900 minutes with Fort Lauderdale. It's his 3rd shot on frame this year. Makes the most of it. Again, the Scorpions, as noted, just unable to clear.
The complexion of this game changes totally there. Scorpions up 2-0, had the insurance goal, and now just a 1-goal lead for the Scorpions. 55 minutes having gone by in this game.
First ball to get past Bolo in his Scorpions career. Much like that first goal from Saavedra against Manila, really not something you can spend long playing.
Just bouncing around in that box too often. Really nothing for Roller to do in that situation. Defender tried to hit it off the line, but again, just sloppy defending from the Scorpions gives that goal to the Strikers.
Restrepo being challenged by Lucic. So they're more than willing to make the run all the way across the pitch. Hasn't quite found the rhythm he had a year ago, but certainly feels like a sleeping lion.
That's exactly right. Anderson, one of those guys, he can play a terrible 89 minutes and come on.
Equalizer from 23 yards down. I want to make it clear, Anderson's overall played a good game. Just hasn't quite reached the form of a year ago when he was one of the most prolific scorers in all the league.
Not that easy for a lot of these guys. Obviously, if you find a good run of form, it's easy to stay in it, but trying to bring that over from 9 months is not an easy job.
Offside the call against Restrepo. Fans, again, we're talking about Mark Anderson, the 24-year-old out of Durham, England. Product out of Durham University. Last year had 84 shots, hit 46 of them were on frame. Both those numbers leading the entire league.
Absolutely astonishing stats right there. 47 of those on shot, on frame, I should say. Absolutely phenomenal, but as you can tell from that, Anderson, a guy who takes good shots, not a guy who just pulls the trigger for the heck of it.
Esteban Bayona, I think, has been making those who've been cheering him on throughout his Scorpions career quite pleased with the amount of ground he's been covering in this.
Bayona doing a great job. One of those really big fan favorites here.
This is the header there. Lucy can put a left foot on it. Another goal this time. Bayona. And the right wing perhaps go down as an own goal when it's all said and done, but Bayona creating havoc around the frame.
Manila tries to get to it. Is Manila unable to ball bounce in yet to see if that was off. Bayona tries to go goal from the striker. Came off the striker. Either way, huge goal here in the 59th minute. Puts the Scorpions back up too.
For the first time this year, Scorpions have put a 3 spot up on the scoreboard.
Well, very impressive. We talked about this different team, having Barolo in goal, bringing some different guys up, starting Bayona. Not the usual guys on the field starting tonight, and these guys have really made the most of it. This 11 on the pitch for Tim Hankinson. These guys really, really pleading their case to get more playing time as the season progresses.
Strikers who found their first scoring low just a couple minutes ago. Their talented defender, Scott Gordon.
Very important for the Strikers. Trying to get back in this match, certainly want to get another
Salazar. Carlos has played a little over 200 minutes this year. Came off the bench last week. Product out of Colombia, 31-year-old. He's played in his home nation of Colombia, as well as Costa Rica, Venezuela, Chile, Iran, and Panama. One of those is a little bit further from home than the others. Another corner. I think I've used the phrase another corner pretty frequently throughout this broadcast.
Big opportunity for the Strikers here. Down by 2 goals, 3-1. Just turned the 60th minute of the match.
Anderson with that dangerous foot. Beyond the delivering end this time.
Carlos Salazar as our substitution. Salazar will be coming on for.
And he's going to come in for the lone striker who has put one into the back of the net past Volo so far, Scott Gordon, who cleaned up that rebound. The 25-year-old out of Boca Raton, Florida, former MLSer for Chivas USA. Salazar is on, the first substitution made by either coach as we approach the final half hour. No surprise. Strikers were in last place until their first victory of the year last week. A surprising win to many against Minnesota, who of course stocked up with some free agents we were very familiar with this past offseason. 3 Scorpions joining the fold up there with the newly branded club, Minnesota United, including the keeper, Daryl Sallard, the Golden Glove winner, the Golden Boot winner, Pablo Campos, and Aaron Pitchcorn as well.
Minnesota United going out this offseason, spending a lot of money, buying some big names in the NASL.
New ownership providing some stability up there.
That's exactly right. So far, they've been able to score the goals, but defense a bit leaky for Minnesota United so far here this spring season.
And Minnesota United, we should point, played an early game today, and they have fallen now for the second straight week. As they were handed a 3-2 loss by Tampa Bay. It was 2-2 in the 90th minute when the Rowdies were able to collect their third and final goal.
The Rowdies up at the top of the table, tied with the Carolina Railhawks at 11 points. Railhawks playing currently. I believe they started an hour earlier in big game against
Right now, all the attention of the Scorpions fans and Strikers fans alike here at Toyota Field. The fans have filled this facility out nicely. 8,000 plus standing only in the debut of Toyota Field. About a month back, 2 weeks ago, in excess of 7,000 fans in attendance.
This is a phenomenal field, like you said. There's not a seat in the entire stadium for 50 yards from the pitch. 55, excuse me. Accurate. But again, a wonderful field, a great vantage for us up here in the press box. And if you came to Hero Stadium last year to watch the Scorpions, you really need to come out and check out Toyota Field and see the difference.
Bayona, Ramirez, an exciting tandem. Ramirez will slow things down to third gear for now.
Ramirez doing the smart thing, looking for help offensively.
The defender making a run. The role that West Knightfield a year ago. West Knight these days up in Canada. FC Edmonton had to miss the matchup against the Scorpions when they were
Strikers, go sit down!
3 goals by 3 different Scorpions here this evening against the Strikers. We've seen a collective 3 goals here in the second half. Make it 4 goals here in the second half. Let me do my math one more time. 3 goals here in the second half, 2 for San Antonio, 1 for Lauderdale. Javier Saavedra, the lone goal in the first half, and that goal was almost during our pregame show. 73 seconds into the contest.
Another good bit of defense there coming from Martin, knocking that ball out for a corner. But again, think that was Restrepo trying to get around Martin and just unable to. Martin doing a wonderful job defensively.
By the way, a corner kick here for the Strikers. They'll keep this one tight, 6 yards out. Scorpions in the right place, holding strong, still haven't cleared. Unfortunate hop for San Antonio, but in the end, Restrepo will fire wide.
Yeah, big volley there from Restrepo. Obviously, one of the harder shots in all of soccer, that volley. Restrepo hitting that one wide on the top of the net. Restrepo there from the lower goal.
Well, these fans helped pack Hero Stadium a year ago on a regular basis, in excess of 9,000 per contest, as many as slightly on the plus side of 13. And they're going to say Volo a delay of game here as Volo picks up the yellow. And I believe he's being asked to do like another.
Volo, one of those guys, really good guy, not the most animated. So you know if Volo's getting animated, there's a big problem against the yellow card here in the 65th minute.
One day he'll get to wear a white collar. I see quite as many yellows. Saavedra with a goal and an assist here tonight, his second assist on the season. Saavedra directing traffic, fires up top in front of the frame and denied by the crossbar.
Bouncing at the bottom of the crossbar, staying out. Again, big opportunity there, putting the ball in, and big 6'6" Luka Vučko tracking back on defense after the opportunity.
Jeff Atnella getting a little help from the hardware.
Well, if you're a goalkeeper, you'll take all the help you can. Certainly from the post. You can be the best friend or worst friend for a goalkeeper.
Iona, the only Scorpion in the box, fighting for that ball. So now will rest at the feet of Ramirez. Would have loved to come away with the NASL play of the week right there, but again, it'll go wide off the left boot.
Yeah, no problem at all with that shot from Ramirez here in the 67th minute. He's got a bit of space. He's been playing well tonight. Have a go.
Scorpions defense quickly retreating, including Vučko anchoring that defense in front of Volo.
We talked about Martin forward, he can play defense, he can play wherever, but Martin has that speed. He's not the tallest guy, very muscular and very fast.
Great chemistry here thus far in a little over an hour play. Wrap up with the 67th minute. Tonight's captain Phelan, underfooted by Iona. Substitution for the Scorpions coming up. Assistant coach Armacina going to, can't tell who that is yet. Ramirez has Iona out wide, still on the feet of Ramirez. Saavedra enters the equation. The Scorpions away with nothing.
A little too much there from Ramirez. Got off a little more than he could chew. Had the opportunity early, pulled it back, but didn't find anybody on the other end of that cross.
Credit the Strikers for staying close and frustrating San Antonio there. Restrepo can't track this one down. Simply a goal kick for Volo. And Volo will be wise to quickly recover this ball and address it with a goal kick.
I think you're exactly right. Jeff Jennings will be the substitute coming on the pitch for the Scorpions.
Jeff had to miss the early part of his Scorpions debut last year with an ACL injury, but then quickly became a constant for San Antonio this year. Most recently came off the bench in the loss in Carolina. More of a statement being made at the time by Coach Tim Hankinson. He's made a pair of substitutions. He and Coach Hankinson have some common ties back to Fort Lewis College, the Division II powerhouse, where Jennings played in a couple of national championships, winning both of them, including as a senior.
most idyllic spots for college. Absolutely beautiful looking down on Durango.
Restrepo, 1v1. The Scorpions wind up with the numbers advantage, helping out Blake Wagner.
Restrepo's down in the box, rolling around. He is yet to get back up.
Well, for now, they give San Antonio an advantage in terms of man count. Scorpions.
Back to his feet. Good sign for the Strikers. It's a pat on the head from Lolo.
Lolo doesn't get back to his line. Lucho will send down wide to Williams. No pressure here from Fort Lauderdale.
Both teams starting to get a little tired. Obviously, this has been an up and down match the entire 70 minutes.
Ramirez is onside. 18 yards out, looking for the foot of his teammate, and it's going to find its way right back out to Walter. But now numbers can push forward. And any advantage that the Scorpions had is now gone.
Impressive play so far from Ramirez. Had the opportunity there. Would like to see him hit that ball a little earlier. But again, good work there from the Hunter.
Now it's the Scorpions with numbers retreating back. Bolo would not have had a chance to stop that ball if it had dropped beneath the crossbar. And you see Jennings will now officially come into this contest.
Bolo coming out, extorting his guys, get the energy level up. Let's keep going. We're only up 2. There's still 20 minutes in this match. That is exactly what you want to see from your goalkeeper, especially with this first start of the season. Jeff Jennings will be coming on for Ryan Jordan, coming on here in the 72nd minute.
Jordan, who got the start after battling some hamstring issues this past month. Jeff Jennings comes on. Fresh legs for Coach Hankinson as the 25-year-old out of Aurora, Colorado, outside the greater Denver area, checks in.
Looks like we are going to have another substitution for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
That'll be Gonzalo de Mujica, and we'll have more on him in just a moment. Mujica will have to wait. Manny Gonzalez controls right now. Near side, Darnell King.
I can see the Scorpions players starting to get tired, starting to lose a little energy there. And a foul and a free kick coming from the Strikers.
And straight away for the Strikers. 25 yards out. A great opportunity here coming up for Fort Lauderdale. It'll also allow them to make the substitution as De Mujica will come in. The 23-year-old out of Weston, Florida, who most recently was with a club that many in this area are familiar with, Orlando City U23, the PDL club. It was so successful this past year.
Coming on, getting some fresh legs for the Strikers, their second substitution here in the match. Opportunity here for the Strikers. Free kick coming in a dangerous spot. If they can pull one back here, still over 15 minutes of time remaining in the match.
Interested to see how Volo can respond to a straight-on shot like this. Find the answer, squeeze it into the chest, and just for good measure will fall off.
It's a basket catch there. As he tosses it out to Ramirez to start the counterattack.
17.
Wrapping up the 73rd minute of regulation here in San Antonio. It's the first time the Strikers have paid a visit to Toyota Field, the first of 2 trips to San Antonio this year, as every team in its current form will take a couple of road trips and host each of the other opponents. On a couple of occasions, says everybody will play everybody 4 times throughout this season. Including a 12-game spring season and a 14-match fall season with the addition of the New York Cosmos.
So yellow card, I believe that's going to be for the Saints. Let's see who that is. Things starting to get a little chippy out there. Strikers unhappy. Obviously won the first game of the season last week, trying to come in tonight, get a win streak started. The Scorpions have really been on it since the opening minute.
Lyle Martin will draw in a couple of Scorpions. We'll see what they've designed. Looks as though the Scorpions are content to taking some time off the clock here.
Scorpions looking to keep possession. Obviously, we want to keep playing offensively, but possession is the most important thing at this moment.
Again, Pat Phelan called upon as the captain to wear the armband in this matchup in the absence of Kevin Harm serving 1 game suspension. Beautiful photo off the left foot of Brent Wagner. He's been a defender in every match in his career as a Scorpion, but he loves to show off that offensive prowess if given the opportunity.
Yeah, nice shot there from Wagner. Saw Antonella a bit off his line, tried to chip him. Antonella unable to make the save, had to pop it over the bar. So the corner kick would be coming for the Scorpions. Reminiscent of the Wanderer Roderick Kelnick goal this past week. Off the line, put it over the top.
Scorpions have a corner. Let's see. Teasing the short corner. Ramirez with that left boot from the far side. Far post. Buchko just can't angle it inside the hardware.
Well, the Scorpions doing a really good job finding the head of Buchko multiple times, and we're going to have another substitution for the Scorpions.
Nikola Vasilic make his return. Back out there on the pitch after getting the start last week and scoring a goal, one of the 2 goals against Carolina. He comes in for Bayona.
He's going to come in for Esteban Bayona. Bayona, the Colombian native, obviously went to Incarnate Word here in San Antonio. Really one of the big fan favorites for the Scorpions, almost a native San Antonian, and played a wonderful game. Really the motor of this team offensively so far in this match.
So on comes Nikola Vasilic here with a 3-1 advantage in about 15 minutes to play. The 24-year-old from Serbia, pro in Eastern Europe since 2010. Played a little over 200 minutes this year. His first campaign with San Antonio.
Yeah, Vasilic got on the score sheet last week. That 5-2 loss at Carolina, one of the 2 scores, one of the 2 bright spots in that match for the Scorpions.
Jennings will be called for the foul. Strikers trying to speed things up a bit prematurely as they'll be called back in the spot of the foul.
Start putting numbers forward here with under 15 minutes remaining in regulation. Opportunity for the Scorpions to counterattack.
Strikers wanted a handball in the box, nothing doing, as Scorpions will maintain possession here along that far touchline.
Beautiful ball.
A little touch there from Lucic. Come out wide to Wagner. Nobody within 15 yards. He looks for the open space. The always dangerous Mark Anderson making a threaded needle perhaps. Instead will tap it out wide with the left foot. As he finds King. Darnell King up top, 19 yards looking to turn. For a moment there was De Mujica, but no shot just yet here on this possession for Lauderdale. Strikers 2 points ahead of the Scorpions in the standings, occupying 5th place.
Beautiful defense there from Chris Williams, sliding, knocking that ball out of bounds for a throw-in instead of a corner kick. And Williams, one of those guys who's shown 100% heart in this match this evening.
Make it 6th place, of course, in the standings of the 7 teams.
3rd and final substitution of the evening coming for the Strikers. Coming on will be number 13.
Yeah, that's going to be Justin Chavez, the product out of University of Tulsa, the former Golden Hurricane. Chavez was taken in that supplemental draft out of college in 2012 in round 4 by the Chicago Fire. As Polo by the shot most recently close to his right.
Beautiful goalkeeping there from Polo, carrying that ball around the post. The Scorpions taking no chances here defensively. They're going to bring everyone back.
Well, you can see those fresh legs already paying off for the Strikers as they've been able to continue this pursuit. They've just only been able to find that 1 rebound for a goal here in the second half. Restrepo played every minute tonight. Down here against Jennings. They set up another free kick straight away, and now a yellow against Husick. Husick has scored that ball about 20 yards away from the spot that the official would like it placed. Quite a few yellows now to keep track of on that.
busy afternoon a busy evening, I should say, for our head referee, doing a good job keeping control. The match is getting a little chippy here in the final 10 minutes.
Heading to his second yellow of the season.
Strikers, the player taken off in the last substitution was Jamar Thomas, number 44.
And a long-time veteran from Jamaica. Volo again on his back line. Volo, no need to get a fingertip on it as that ball continued to climb over the crossbar.
Goalkeeping there for Volo. Volo would not have let that ball come in even if it was a foot lower. Volo in the right place, laying out for that one. Thankfully the ball out of play and over the top of the goal.
Midway through the 80th minute here in San Antonio. Rose along with Kip McConico, thrilled to have you with us here on Me TV. Scorpions set to be on your living room television June 1st, their next home matchup. KSAT 12. Right arm and that yellow card held in that right hand. He can get another appearance.
Things still in control, good job from the central referee, but Strikers unhappy, as I said, the first win of the season last year. They certainly thought they were going to come in and be able to tie together a win streak here at beautiful Toyota Field as you get a panoramic view of it. But so far down 3-1 here in the 82nd minute. They're very unhappy with the result at this point.
Wagner fires a bullet over the head of his teammate Vasilis. Scorpions never able to track it down.
Scorpions still want to play offensively. You don't want to drop everyone. Certainly not time for that. But you do want to be very cognizant that your midfielders track back defensively, of which the Scorpions have done a wonderful job this evening.
9 minutes of regulation remaining. Volo just collect this at his feet.
Volo doing the smart thing, playing the ball with his feet, taking time. But it's a precious seconds run off the clock for both teams here.
We saw the Strikers applying pressure. Railhawks last week were able to take advantage of some pressure around the keeper on a goal kick.
There last week for Scorpions. Goal kick coming up for Volo. Volo already has the yellow for the sixth with a time wasted. So Volo's going to have to be very careful not to rack up another one here in the 83rd minute.
Just trying out for Team Canada.
United. Now that Sir Alex Ferguson has announced his retirement, so it'll be a new thing for Man United fans next year when he says 2 minutes of extra time. They actually get 2 minutes of extra time.
Well, when Javier Saavedra scored 73 seconds into this match, I know most folks thought to themselves, well, surely that can't be the end of the scoring, but it was for the first half. Folks started to wonder, well, could this be a 1-0 ball game? The answer, no. Scorpions would find alternating goals in the second half with Fort Lauderdale. Strikers never found an equalizer. Scorpions have always had a lead of at least a single goal.
Yeah, Scorpions doing a really good job. Obviously, as you said, scored in the first minute. Hard for a team to hang on to a lead that long. Give a lot of credit to the Scorpions defense and their midfielders playing defense, coming back and doing that. It's really been a team effort. This is the most complete team effort I've seen of the year, on the year for the Scorpions.
An entertaining 83-plus minutes. Presumably for fans of both clubs. Obviously, the score is not where those Florida would like it to be. Hesitating, flicking to the left foot, and getting one touch
Good job, pulls it back across the front, tries to pull it back again. And as you said, just one touch too many there for Anderson.
Anderson giving up ground before working it up ahead. All by his lonesome at the bottom of the screen there. And
you gotta love this. You see Walter Ramirez, who's had an absolutely phenomenal phenomenal game, tracking back defensively. Vasilich will go in and play this ball.
Quick corner. Nothing behind that touch.
Opportunity there for the Scorpions, for the Strikers, I should say. Scorpions doing a good job marking the man defensively, not leaving that open body in the box.
So the two starting strikers for the Scorpions, Jordan and Bayona, done for the night in their place. Jennings as well as Vasilich. Two capable individuals in their own right. The Strikers have used their full allotment. Luchko, 1v1, nimble on the feet. Looking for a window, looking for that top left 90, and that ball's going to bend the wrong way.
Luchko getting a perfect job there defensively. Stays in front of the man with the ball. Doesn't commit the foul. The pass is made. Luchko does his job exactly the way he should.
Make yourself big.
You're 6'6", not very difficult.
If he does his job right, the Strikers having to run around him.
That's a long ways to run around that man.
Ramirez with the ball on his left foot realizes there's no hurry.
Ramirez.
Jennings down to Wagner, the defender. Oh, into Ramirez. He has an option out wide. The question would have been whether or not he was onside. Here's Husick all alone, left footer. And Husick, who's had some hesitation around the ball, that time did not hesitate. He may have had a chance to collect himself and found a better angle. And, opposite emotions from what Randy Chastain enjoyed a decade or so ago.
Husick pulled his shirt over his head there, very angry. But again, a tough ball. Tried to play the volley, just pushed it wide of the near post. But a tough shot there for Ed Husick.
Again, for the Strikers, begging for the ball has been De Mujica. The Scorpions have been giving him quite a bit of space to work with.
Yeah, De Mujica, one of those subs here for the Strikers in the second half, giving him some fresh legs.
That pass arguably was in his direction as he'll try to track down this ball. Gets up to Ramirez. Saavedra, mind you, Javier Saavedra has played every single one of these 86 minutes. An additional 13 seconds and counting to his resume.
Yeah, Saavedra looking like he's starting to cramp up here in the 87th minute of the match.
Understandably, as this game time temperature tonight, 91 degrees when it all got started. Volo on this line needs help. Now has time to collect himself. Much more comfortable near that post. And Saavedra trying to stretch out a cramp during all this. Not looking to burn his final substitution just yet.
That ball is just going to be played out of bounds by Jennings. We're going to have a substitution. Ramirez coming over the sideline.
I think he's just getting a drink of water real quick. No sub. Strikers within 25 yards, an extra touch, but it finds its way back to the feet of the Scorpions. Well, Fort Lauderdale has not played like one of the bottom two teams in the table, and with that said, the Scorpions certainly have not played like one team in the league that hasn't found a victory just yet.
Opportunity there for Dimitrov trying to play that volley in, going high over the crossbar. No trouble there for Vuolo, but here now in the 89th minute, you're really going to see how in shape these guys are early in the season. Starting to get to them after this up and down match. Indeed, we will have a substitution for Javier Saavedra. That would be number 7.
Well, it'll be good to see Stephen Dureau, who, with an injured foot, had to miss much of that matchup up there in Canada and every match really since then for the Scorpions. But it's the second time that Saavedra will not be able to complete a home start here at Toyota Field, but I would say a goal and an assist for number 23. He has made the most of his time out there, and Dureau will try to help close the door.
What a fantastic game for Saavedra. 39 years of age, a goal and an assist in 89 minutes played this evening.
Tim Hankinson had the gall to call him 40 years old.
How dare he? He is every bit of 39. Not a day older, I might add.
Dureau was named to the Team of the Week for the NASL in the season opener against Minnesota. He played 180 minutes still with a beat on it. It'll be Jeff Attinella. And while there have been 3 goals that technically have gotten past Attinella, and still not sure whether one will be an own goal. I know fans who are watching online have access to the box score, but Attinella, a great find for Fort Lauderdale that was in dire need of a keeper. I think the Scorpions probably would love to have had him land in their lap, but now all of a sudden have discovered the talent that they have in Volo. And credit Tim Hankinson. He went into last year knowing that he needed 2 starting caliber keepers with a young man named Daryl Saller backing up Pat Hannigan. This year he had Volo. As offside, the call being made by both the official across the way as well as the unofficial official Daryl Shore, the 4th-year head man.
Here at the end of regular time, we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Ball lofted in, Volo will catch it on the fly.
And Volo done such a wonderful job today. We may have a goalkeeper battle going on for the rest of the season. We certainly don't want to start anything, but Volo certainly making his case to be the starter between the sticks after his performance this evening.
Well, it's certainly not easy to make a debut in goal when your back line has been in flux with injuries. More drastic changes, though, for Coach Hankinson were up at the front, where Bayona got the start alongside Brian Jordan. And we are in stoppage time, but there's no stoppage between these 2 throws.
Lyle Martin played wonderful defense there, shielding the ball, I believe, from Darnell King. King unhappy with that, but this is one of the things you look at Martin. Martin, not the tallest player, but physically just absolutely built like a brick. When Martin gets the ball, almost impossible to take him off of it.
Scorpions don't mind this prolonged conversation.
Scorpions would be happy to chat with the referee as long as he'd like to here in stoppage time.
Duro up top, onside. At least a couple of fans, knowledgeable fans saying, nope, go ahead and just hang on to it for a little while.
That's exactly right. At this point in the game, we have a 2-goal lead already in stoppage time. More important to waste time than take another shot on goal.
No surprise, Mujica was making the run along the near touchline. Cut in, never get a pass. Or collision. Play continues. Slow to get up right now is Carlos Salazar, one of the 3 substitutions in this matchup for Coach Daryl Shore.
Gonzalez going down, falling over Vuchka there, knocking down a sign behind the goal, and you're going to fall on somebody, you might as well fall on Vuchka.
To let you understand, Luka Vuchka, those are cement signs. I'm told they're not cement signs.
Handshake there for Gonzalez, no ill will between the competitors.
Volo gladly put a boot into this one. Wagner on top of the ball. Again, 4 minutes of stoppage time was assessed. We're probably a little over halfway through that. Strikers need 2.
Nice give and go there to Restrepo. Ball taken away by Martin.
Again, with that clearance by the Scorpions, buying just more time. Reminder to stay tuned upon the conclusion of this broadcast, as regardless of the outcome, we'll have a chance to check in with some of the key contributors and the head coaches. By the time we wrap up postgame, it'll be just about time for you to switch over at 10 o'clock to the KSAT 12 night feed. With all of the local news here in the San Antonio area.
Really giving their all. As I said, this is the best Scorpions team I've seen, and they get their first victory of the year as the final whistle blows.
A final. San Antonio collects the first allotment of 3 points. With the victory here at home, San Antonio will now lead Fort Lauderdale into 6th place in the table, and with some momentum to take with them on the road. Next up for San Antonio, a trip to Atlanta and the May 25th contest this next Saturday before returning home to take on Minnesota United on June 1st. We're now joined by head coach Daryl Shore, and the coach coming off the victory this past week. Just your thoughts about what unfolded here in San Antonio tonight.
Had to play catch up after that. Just weren't good enough on the night. Give credit to San Antonio. They knew they had to come out and get a result, and they put us under pressure, and we didn't handle it well enough.
Coach, you guys played really well last week. You had a good game this evening. Where do you move in this spring season from here?
I can't hear you guys.
Coach, if you can hear me, we'll go ahead and let you go with your players back to the locker room. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, guys. Thank you.
A few technical issues there, but appreciate Coach Shore's
Hey,
time.
guys. Can you
They can't hear me. They can hear.
Yeah. So, again, right now, Scorpions enjoying a 3-1 victory here in San Antonio. A reminder, next home game will be June 1st. That broadcast schedule will be on KSAT 12. As Jonathan Yardley, the former voice of the Dynamo and FC Dallas, will be joining you, Kim McConico. And fans, when we come back, we'll have a chance to check in with some of the key contributors and head coach Tim Hankinson, as you've been watching the San Antonio Scorpions and Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Final score, Scorpions prevail 3-1. We'll be back with plenty more here on MeTV. Scorpions collect the full 3 points here at Toyota Field. 3-1 the final over Fort Lauderdale, as Scorpions will now leap them in the table with some momentum moving forward into their match against Atlanta. Now joined by head coach Tim Hankinson. Had a chance to talk to him just prior to halftime. What was the message there at halftime, and what was your opinion of how things were able to unfold in that second half?
Defensively, we felt they were creating problems on Brian Jordan's side and Lyle Martin by overloading a bit. Mulholland was moving around. We had to make sure that we got that sorted out. And again, continuing to be aggressive to step up to their shooters, because they like the quick, short passes and they get the shots off. So we did a good job with that. And we talked about switching the play more, trying to start on one side, go to the other, because we had not done that. We were very right-sided the first half. and we felt if we opened up the game, we'd have more chances at goal.
You never know what is going to click when you put 11 players out there, but with injuries and harms unavailable, you had to make some changes, and ultimately it appeared to be magical at times out there, just a great bond with some of these newcomers.
Well, it was a test game that we had to have players that were going to put it on the line. We haven't had that this season. We've had a mix of that, and some have done it, some haven't fully committed, and it was just time to finally to lay it on the park, and we selected a group that may not be our most skillful or most talented, but we certainly felt their hearts were in the right place, and they proved it tonight.
You have now faced every opponent in the league once. You will go on to face Atlanta this next week now for a second time. Where do you all go from here?
Well, Atlanta's a very good team and very skillful, one of the most skillful, and a great passing and very difficult for us. But we had a good game here. We learned something about them, and now we're getting to know a little bit more about ourselves. So we hope for a good match.
Coach, again, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations on the 3 points.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, that's head coach Tim Hankinson. When we come back, we will be rejoined by Erica Gonzaba and one of our standout performers of the game. I'll give you a hint. 39 years young, the gentleman who had both a goal and an assist in this one. You're watching San Antonio Scorpions coverage live here on Me TV. Scorpions look to start to string some wins together here midway through the spring season, now joined by tonight's captain, Pat Phelan. And, well, he's recently took on the moniker of father and now adds the captain armband as well. And, Pat, just tell us about that new dynamic out there tonight on the field for the Scorpions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was long overdue. I think it can be tough to be a fan when things aren't going well. We had a great week of training. We had a players-only meeting and got some things sorted out, and came out here on the field tonight and put forth a good performance. Not a perfect performance by any means, but we got the first one behind us, and we're looking to pick up some momentum.
Kevin Harm's unavailable because of the red card this past weekend. What was the mindset when you were presented with the armband?
Well, I mean, for me, I try to be a leader on the field with or without the armband, and I know Kevin's the same way. Playing in the middle of the park there, you got to be an organizer, you got to be a vocal leader. an emotional leader. So it really doesn't change whether or not I have that armband or not.
First chance to catch up with you before, since you were over in Carolina. Of course, you won the title there with the Demon Deacons. I know you received a bit of an ovation there during the starting lineups, got to see some of your old teammates. Despite the outcome, what was that experience like to get to rejoin some of them after your championship run back in the day?
For me, not many college players get to win their final game of their career. So that was really special. That was the reason I went to Wake Forest, was to win a national championship. It was great to be back on that field. It brought back a lot of good memories. It got spoiled a bit, so I'm looking forward to getting back down there later in the year and making some more good memories.
Pat, we are mindful that as a new father, sleep is hard to come by. We're going to let you go and get an early start on your evening.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Again, that is Pat Phelan, who did a tremendous job this evening filling in as captain. Let's now toss it down to Erica, who is joined with one of the men, I would say, of the hour, but how about of the first minute, Javier Saavedra?
Absolutely, you guys. I have Mr. Javier Saavedra here. Javier, te voy a preguntar, I'm going to ask him in Spanish. Te voy a preguntar, ¿cómo te sentiste después del primer gol del juego?
No, bueno, muy feliz. Sabíamos que nosotros necesitábamos ganar, así que tuve la fortuna de marcar el gol. Pero lo más importante es que el equipo ganara, así que necesitábamos urgente una victoria.
I asked him how he felt after that first goal, and he said that the most important thing was that we needed this win tonight, and he's so excited and so proud to do that first team. Ahora, ¿cómo van a preparar para el siguiente juego?
Bueno, ahora primero disfrutar un poco de esa victoria, pero también descansar porque el martes tenemos un partido por la Copa y seguir con esa racha, ¿no? de seguir ganando.
I asked him how he feels and how they're going to prepare for the next game, and he said they're going to celebrate first, and they're so happy for this win, but they've got a big game coming up on Tuesday, so they're going to really focus on that. Back to you guys.
All right, Erica Gonzaba, thank you very much. And again, you can follow Erica on Twitter. Easy enough, Erica Gonzaba, the handle. Well, Lincoln Rose, along with Kit McConico, as the many supporter groups who have helped Scorpions become one of the more entertaining brands of soccer for the past 2 years and greater atmospheres when you come to the home games. Bear County Casuals, among those lining up for autographs. Bayona factoring in with a score along the way. But fans, again, the outcome tonight was 3-1. San Antonio Scorpions pick up their first win of the year. But we remind you that regardless of the outcome, every evening here at Toyota Field is a victory for Soccer for a Cause. I want to thank everybody who was a part of it here at Toyota Field, and those of you who have helped contribute to help raise money and awareness for the special needs community along the way as well. Certainly have not forgotten the autographed soccer ball to be given away, and we'll have more on that here in a little bit. But we take one final break. When we come back, we'll have our winner, and then you'll be just about set to go for the 10 o'clock local news on the KSAT 12 night beat. The celebration continues here at Toyota Field. Third home game of the year, third ever game at Toyota Field. And yes, the first victory for the Scorpions here on their beautiful new facilities. We welcome you back, Lincoln Rose, along with Kit McConico. Always a great atmosphere, but it helps when the Scorpions can leave with the full 3 points. They'll hit the road, head to Atlanta with those 3 points. It all began with Javier Saavedra. We heard Erica check in with him. And, of course, also thrilled we had a chance to catch up with the interim captain, Pat Phelan.
That's exactly right. A wonderful game from everyone out there. Scorpions scoring in the first minute, putting them up 1-0, and doing a wonderful job, as we said, one of the most entertaining games of the season, the most complete performance we've seen from the Scorpions yet far.
Well, one more performance to complete, and that is that giveaway. Erica, do you have more on that?
I do. If you all remember at the beginning of the broadcast, we announced that our giveaway for tonight was an autographed Scorpion soccer ball, and we do have a winner. We asked that you guys enter on sascorpions.com/soccerball, and our winner is, drum roll please, Amanda Garcia. Amanda, we will be contacting you, so make sure you stay by your phone, by your email. We're going to get you that soccer ball. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Erica. As Gordon Hartman just walked right by the broadcast booth, always good to see a big smile. He was holding up a big 3 on one hand and a slightly smaller 1 on the other hand, as he is very well aware of how much this win meant to the Scorpions as they wrap up the first half of the spring. We'll put a cap on things when we return here on Me TV. Scorpions defeat the Strikers tonight 3-1 here in the Alamo City. Have been battling back and forth bottom of the table, but this should provide some tremendous confidence boost. And I use the word magical, the dynamic out there, even if by accident, an impressive showing by the Scorpions.
Fantastic team effort, and that's what it was today. It wasn't 1 or 2 players. It was a team effort. Talked to Coach Tim Hankinson previous to this match, said we want guys out there who will fight. We want guys out there who are gritty, and that's what they got tonight, and they ended up with a 3-1 victory, their first victory of the season.
Next up for the Scorpions, they hit the road to Atlanta to take on the Silverbacks of Atlanta, and then they will be back here June 1st at Toyota Field, ultimately to take on the visiting squad on again, June 1st, pardon me, have all sorts of folks talking to me, including the owner. But fans, we want to remind you in a few moments you'll have a chance to switch over to KSAT 12 for your local 10 o'clock news on the Night Beat.